the Provincial Court of Manitoba, between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 26th day of November, 2013. Appearances: Mr. D. Clifford, in person. November the 26th, 2013. Proceedings. The Court: Good evening, you are Dean Clifford. Is that correct? The accused: I will not appear as a legal fiction. I will not make appearance in a statutory jurisdiction. The Court: All right, so are you John Doe? The accused: Didn't say that either. I'm going to wait to see what the accuser has to say. The Court: Okay. Well, I'm your accuser at this point, sir. Actually, I'm your jailer at this point. The accused: Oh. The Court: So I just won't even go any further with you. I'll just be talking with the officer. Officer, can I get your name for the record, please? Mr. Schell, Constable Schell, for the record, of the Arrest Processing Unit. The Court: Okay. Has this person been fingerprinted? That you know who he is? Mr. Schell: Yeah, prior to coming down to the arrest processing he was fingerprinted by our division. The Court: Thank you. And has Mr. Clifford had a chance to call a lawyer since he's been in custody, or has he declined to do that? Mr. Schell indicates that at the arrest processing he declined. The Court: Okay. Mr. Schell, take a look at the arrest summary here, as well. And he also declined with the arresting officers, as well. The Court: So, Mr. Clifford, you're a freeman. Is that correct, or a so-called freeman? The accused: No, I don't call myself much of anything other than a man. The Court: All right. So you're a man, aren't you? The accused: Created by God of nature, and that's it. The Court: All right, I'm going to stop you now. Listen to me and only answer yes or no. I already know you're Mr. Clifford since you answer when I ask you and I address you as Mr. Clifford. Now, there are charges before you, quite a few actually, and whether you're a so-called freeman or not we'll deal with that later, or that's something the judge will be dealing with. Constable Schell has confirmed your identity through fingerprintings. Whether you agree with it or not, you were born with fingerprints and that's how they found out who you are. Now, you declined to call a lawyer, that's what they said. I'm asking you now, and this is a yes or no answer, would you like to call a lawyer right now? The accused: Don't need one. The Court: Perfect. So I'll mark down that you've declined. Has a crown been called, Constable Schell? Mr. Schell: Yes, Crown Nielstein has been called, briefed on this matter, and he is opposed to release. The Court: Okay. On what grounds? Mr. Schell: He, as well as police, are opposed to Mr. Clifford's release on primary, secondary and tertiary grounds in this matter. The Court: And those being? Mr. Schell: The primary ground is history of failing to appear court. Secondary grounds: there are previous convictions for failing to comply with conditions of court orders, prevent the continuation of the offence, his access to weapons, irrespective of licenses. As well, there are outstanding charges which would be under recognizance that he failed to appear on. That would make a reverse onus. And just tertiary grounds: the seriousness of this matter, and of note that all three warrants are unendorsed. The Court: Thank you. One moment. Mr. Clifford, I'm not asking you if you agree or not what the police said. Do you understand what they said? The accused: No. The Court: Okay. Well, I'm going to explain it to you. The reason they're opposed to your release is the primary ground. That's to ensure your attendance in court. You have a history of not attending. A secondary ground is a continuation of the offence, a likelihood that you're going to re-offend based on your record, and a continuation. You have other charges that are out of our of St. Andrews, these weapons offences, how serious these are, as well as other offences, and the production offence, as well as the assault PO and obstruct PO. This is why they're opposed to your release. So this is your option. You can apply for bail before me today, or you wait and have a lawyer, or you represent yourself tomorrow before a judge. It's up to you. The accused: yeah, I think that if I ever consented to be recognized as a legal person before the law, I'd have something to worry about, so I don't, because none of these charges reflect the man. I'm not concerned about it. I will not make not application for bail in a statutory jurisdiction. No, thanks. The court: no problem. Then I'm remanding you in custody, and you'll be remanded at the remand center until you'll stay in custody until you choose whether you want to make a bail application or you'll stay locked up. It's a decision you make, sir. So you're remanded in custody till tomorrow, which is November the 27th. You'll appear in courtroom 301 AC at 9:30. If you choose not to appear in court or you choose not to apply for bail, like I said, you will stay locked up. Any questions? The accused: none. The court: perfect. Thank you. Good night. The accused: okay, thank you. Day 1. Proceedings concluded. The Provincial Court of Manitoba. Between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 27th day of November, 2013. Appearances: Mr. M. Himmelman, for the Crown. Mr. D. Clifford, in person. The court: okay, what's your name, sir? The accused: given name Dean. The court: Mr. Clifford. The accused: yeah, family name Clifford. The court: okay, thank you. I have you noted on my list as being unrepresented. Is that still the case? The accused: yeah, I don't consent to be associated to a legal person for these proceedings. I will not appear as a legal person. I don't consent to appearance in a statutory jurisdiction either. The court: okay. Mr. Himmelman, these are federal matters, also. They are, I understand, both provincial and federal charges. I'm not sure if our file has made it into the courtroom yet. I know that I'd spoken briefly with the federal Crown this morning, and I believe they are opposed to this gentleman's release. The court: are they solely federal charges or both? Mr. Himmelman: no, there are provincial charges as well. The court: okay. Mr. Himmelman: and the province shares the federal position. The court: okay. So, Mr. Clifford, the Crown is opposed to your release on bail. That's both the provincial and federal crowns. You've made it clear that you don't wish to be assisted by legal counsel, correct? The accused: I also don't wish to be associated to a legal person under their terms and conditions. The court: okay. Do you wish? The accused: violation of my will. The court: do you wish to make a bail application? The accused: I will not contract with this court. The court: I'll take that as a no then, that today at least you don't wish to make a bail application. Can you suggest an adjournment date? Mr. Himmelman: well, maybe we could put it over to tomorrow morning at 9:30 in 301 AC and Mr. Clifford can, I guess, consider his options at that point. The court: okay. Mr. Himmelman: unless. The court: so I'll let you know, Mr. Clifford, and I appreciate you don't recognize the jurisdiction of the court, but just so that I'm discharging my duties to you, you do have a right to make a bail application and represent yourself. You have indicated, at least today, that you don't wish to enter into that discussion with the court, so I'm going to remand your charges to tomorrow so that you can consider the position overnight, and you'll be free to make a bail application tomorrow, if you wish, and if not, that's fine as well. The accused: well, this is a kangaroo court, and it's not a court of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, so you don't have any duties that I even really care about in the first place. The court: I understand that, I'm just explaining to you what information I need to give you. Okay. The accused: my accuser has got some decisions to make by tomorrow, because if I'm not out of here I'll be convening a proper court of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and I'll just take things over from there. The court: okay. You can knock on the door and let them know that you're done for today, Mr. Clifford. The accused, and I am being damaged by this, by the way, so the Crown is liable. I should obey Her Majesty. Day 2. Proceedings concluded. The Provincial Court of Manitoba. Between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 28th day of November, 2013. Appearances: Mr. M. Himmelman, for the Provincial Crown. Mr. J. Stream, for the Federal Crown. Mr. D. Clifford, in person. The Clerk. This court is now open, Judge Lerner presiding. Mr. Stream, good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Himmelman, good morning, Your Honor. The Court, good morning, good morning. Mr. Himmelman, for the Monitor. It's Himmelman, initial M. I'm appearing for the Crown with my colleague, Miss Hazelton. The Court, yes. Mr. Himmelman, and I think first on the list we have Mr. Clifford, and he appears starting at number 1. Mr. Stream, good morning, Your Honor. Stream for the Monitor. The Court, good morning. Mr. Stream, I appear on behalf of the Federal Crown. We have a single charge, inaudible, on the docket, inaudible. However, I am simply adopting the comments of Mr. Himmelman, inaudible, of this matter. The Court, okay. Sure. Is this Mr. Clifford? Mr. Himmelman, and I believe this is Mr. Clifford on the screen. I'll advise at the outset he's raising a jurisdictional issue with respect to the Court. The Court, Mr. Himmelman, I understand he wishes to represent himself, or he did yesterday. The Court, Mr. Himmelman, I'm not sure if his position has changed since then, Your Honor. I can indicate the Crown is opposed to Mr. Clifford's release. The Court, Mr. Himmelman, and in consultation with my friend, the Federal Crown, we are of the view that submissions in this matter are likely to extend past the usual time permitted in this venue. The Court, Mr. Himmelman, so if Mr. Clifford does intend to apply for bail, a special sitting would be required. The Court, okay. Mr. Himmelman, thank you. The Court, you're welcome. So good morning, Mr. Clifford. The accused, yeah, good morning. I don't consent to represent the legal fiction these people have brought into court. The Court, So do you wish to make a bail application with respect to your matter? The accused, absolutely not. In fact, I'm going to give these guys one opportunity to withdraw free to liability of my false arrest and my kidnapping and my torture I have suffered since they made false accusations against me. The Court, The accused, so I think I'm going to give them to the count of 3 to allow them to withdraw before I convene a proper court in a proper jurisdiction, because I've got a whole bunch of claims as a plaintiff, as a man created by God of nature, and I'm really not too happy of what they've done here. The Court, The accused, never in my life have consented to be recognized as a legal fiction under their terms and conditions, and I certainly do not consent and refuse to appear in the jurisdiction that they've created, which is full of unicorns and rainbows. The Court, If you choose not to make bail application, Mr. Clifford, you're going to remain in custody. Do you understand that? The accused, they can keep me here as long as they want under their liability, because they are liable for that. So, Crown, are you going to take my offer? The Court, so I'm not going. I'm going to invite the Crown actually not to respond to that question. So this strikes me as a matter then that should be set down. I take it you're going to be pleading not guilty to the charges, Mr. Clifford. The accused, no, I will not be playing this game at all. The Court, okay. So it seems to me that this is a circumstance where the Court may well have to enter a plea of not guilty for Mr. Clifford, ultimately, but I'm going to suggest that this is the sort of matter that ought, I think, to be case managed, because it's sounding as though Mr. Clifford's matter is going to have to be set down since he appears to not wish to make a bail application and he does not wish to enter a plea. So there are obviously going to be many threshold issues that are going to have to be resolved. What I'm going to suggest is the matter go over a day for a on-the-record case management conference to be scheduled for 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and the matter can be further addressed at that point. Mr. Himmelman: Yes, Your Honor. The court: All right. Okay, so. The accused: I got a better idea, we can settle this right here and right now. The court: The accused: As one of the sovereign people of this land, I convene a lawful court of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I have all sorts of claims against this man, and I think that we should proceed in a game of choosing. We can settle up these false claims in a real hurry. The court: The accused: I see that we already have a qualified trustee of Her Majesty sitting on the bench. I guarantee we've got a qualified court reporter present. I'm the plaintiff, I am present, and I'm assuming this man has assumed liability for all the charges that have been brought against me, so he can represent my defendant, that will be the guy that I'm accusing. So I promise to tell the truth as God is my witness. I have harmed no man, I have broken no agreement, and I'm accusing this man right here of bringing false claims against me under a false identity, and I'm also accusing him of being responsible for my false arrest under that false identity, kidnapping, false forcible confinement, and cruel and unusual punishment and torture in solitary confinement, here in jail. The court: So I'm going to put the matter over to November the 29th, 9:30. Or, sorry, 10 o'clock, 301 AC. I take would. It would be Mr. Himmelman minus 9:30, I think, Your Honor. The court: Or 9:30, 301. Mr. Himmelman: For this docket. The court: Right. Mr. Himmelman: Yes. The court minus 301 AC, thank you. And what I'll do is invite the accused. It does not matter, I'm swearing out an affidavit of all this. You guys are in my court right now. You can ignore me all you want. The court: Okay. So I'm going to invite Crown Counsel to make efforts to arrange a case management conference. Mr. Himmelman: Yes, Your Honor. The court: Between now and tomorrow morning. As I say, I think we should start off with the 1-hour case management conference. I'll leave it to whoever conducts the matter to determine whether it merits something longer. Mr. Himmelman: Yes. The court: At some future point. But, as I say, it looks like we should move forward with this matter as quickly as possible. Mr. Himmelman: It appears that Miss Silver from my office may be assigned, and I'll get in touch with her, and I take it my friend from the Federal Crown's office, Inaudible. Mr. Stream, Inaudible, will be available. The court: Okay, thank you. Mr. Himmelman: Thank you very much, Your Honor. The court: All right, good morning. Mr. Gladstone: Your Honor, if I may, I'm wondering if the court is of the view I should be involved in this. I represent the co-accused respecting Mr. Clifford's matter. The court: Oh, I hadn't realized. Mr. Gladstone: If we're talking about a case management, that would be. The court: Sorry, I wasn't aware that there was a co-accused. Mr. Gladstone: That's. Hence I apologize to just spring it on the court. The court: Okay. Who is the co-accused? Mr. Gladstone: Mr. Bo is sorry old, but he's already out of custody. He's being granted judicial interim release. The court: Oh, I see, okay, sorry. Well, clearly then. And is he of like mind? Mr. Gladstone: He's, I would. About 10% is. If. No, he signed his legal aid application. The court: Oh, okay, all right. Well, whether or not. Whether or not the matters can proceed together, normally they would, but I don't know what will happen here. I'm going to suggest, obviously, that any case management, at least preliminarily, should involve you, too, Mr. Gladstone. Thank you for. Mr. Himmelman: Yes. The court: Identifying yourself as counsel. Mr. Himmelman: Thank you, Mr. Gladstone. The court. For the co-accused. And Mr. Boissoniault obviously is remanded elsewhere, I take it. Mr. Gladstone, yeah. Selkirk. The court, but that doesn't mean that obviously you can't be in touch with Mr. Himmelman and be involved in the scheduling of the case management conference, and you can make your appearance. Mr. Gladstone, well, if it slows things down perhaps I'll bow out, but if I can be of assistance I'll be there. The court, Mr. Gladstone, obviously he's in custody. The court, well, you know, I think what I'll say though. Thank you for raising it. Is that as a preliminary matter you ought to be involved and we'll make a determination. Mr. Gladstone, yeah. The court, you know, obviously it's going to require a lot of issues to be considered as to whether or not the matter should proceed together. Okay. Mr. Gladstone, good, thank you. The court, thanks. Okay. All right, Mr. Clifford, tomorrow morning, 9:30, 301 AC, and we'll see about arranging a case management conference for you and talk about some of the issues you're going to. The accused, okay, and I'm going to remind you and the judiciary they have the highest duty to protect my naturally occurring rights as the God of nature intended. The court, okay, thank you, Mr. Clifford. The accused, I'm going to remind you that as our highest duty. The court's, okay, sir. All right, thank you. Mr. Himmelman, thank you, Your Honor. The court, okay. Mr. Himmelman, so, Mr. Clifford, if you just knock on the door you can let them know that you're done here for today. The accused, well, I don't actually believe that I ever adjourned my court that I convened. The court, yeah, I didn't bother telling Clifford that because I didn't think we'll have to just have someone. Mr. Himmelman, understood. The court dash. Invite him to leave the room. The accused, okay. Well, as long as the record shows that nobody has actually rebutted any of my claims, that's fine. Day 3. Proceedings concluded. The Provincial Court of Manitoba. Between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 29th day of November, 2013. Appearances, Mr. M. Himmelman, for the Crown. Mr. D. Nagard, friend of the court. Mr. D. Clifford, in person. Mr. Nagard, you will note that there are no unrepresented individuals. There's one gentleman, fourth from the bottom, Dean Clifford. The court, yes. Mr. Nagard, he is a self-represented. He has made it very clear. The court, Mr. Nagard. On more than one occasion that he does not want the assistance of duty counsel or any. The court, okay. Mr. Nagard. Other lawyer. The court, Mr. Nagard, and I can tell the court, just so they know what to expect, that it's a situation where the Crown is trying to arrange a case management conference in that matter. The court, I see. Mr. Nagard. That's why he's near the end of the list, because there hadn't been one arranged first thing in the morning, so they're hopefully that by the time he comes up there is a date. The court, I see. Mr. Nagard. And that will allow him to be taken off the bail court docket unless he changes his mind and wants to apply for bail. The court, okay, so you, Mr. Nagard, I should. The court, you believe that he's not wanting to apply for bail, is that right? Mr. Nagard, he made it quite clear yesterday that he didn't want to apply. The court, I see, okay. Mr. Nagard, yeah. The court, all right. Matter stood down. The court, all right. The last matter on our list today is Mr. Dean Clifford. He appears at Mr. Himmelman, yes, and I recognized Mr. Clifford on the screen. The court, all right. He appears at number 77. Mr. Himmelman, yes. Through. The accused, I don't appear at all. The court, well, I can see you, sir. Mr. Himmelman, just to clarify, number 78 is a federal matter but I. The court, yes. Mr. Himmelman, I have instructions for now from my colleague at the Federal Crown. The court, thank you. Mr. Himmelman, and this is a situation as of yesterday. Mr. Clifford had indicated he did not wish to have the assistance of a lawyer, and I take it from Mr. Nagard's comments earlier that that remains the case. Yesterday. The court, is that so, Mr. Clifford? You don't wish to have a lawyer represent you? The accused, yeah, actually I can't even speak to this matter at all anymore. Unfortunately, all security instruments regarding the birth certificate were sent back to Vital Statistics and were protested for fraud. I no longer have any standing in this matter even altogether because. The court, okay, thank you, sir. The accused, the legal person doesn't exist anymore. So. The court, thank you, sir. The accused, you guys have a good day, I'm going back to my cell for the weekend. The court, no, you're not going back yet, sir. You're not going back. The accused, oh well, I have no part of this. You guys do whatever you want. The court, no, well, you're just going to sit there for a moment. The accused, that's fine, I'm not even here, go ahead. The court, shall we? At what point? Perhaps we'll leave it to the case management conference before police are entered on Mr. Clifford's behalf, if he doesn't want to. Mr. Himmelman. Yesterday when Judge Lerner had indicated that what we should do is have a case management conference on the record. The court, yes. Mr. Himmelman, I take it something that is slowing down the process of finding a date. There is a co-accused with respect to some of the matters, dating from November the 5th, 2013. The court, Mr. Himmelman, these appear at number 77. There's a co-accused, Mr. Boissoniault, first name is Darren. The court, yes. Mr. Himmelman, he's represented by Mr. Brett Gladstone. And. The court, okay. And Mr. Boissoniault was released, as I recall. I think I released Mr. Boissoniault, in fact, so he's not in custody. Mr. Himmelman, I'm not sure what his. I can't speak to his status. The court, yeah, okay. Mr. Himmelman. But I certainly defer to the court's knowledge there. And I take it, from the Federal Crown's earlier point, we're just waiting to hear from Mr. Gladstone really regarding his availability. The court, all right. Mr. Himmelman, I had emailed the Provincial Crown, who is assigned to these matters, Miss Silver. The court, Mr. Himmelman, and realized that for some reason my BlackBerry messages weren't going through, so I had to recently resend those, so I don't actually have a direct response from her. The court, okay. Mr. Himmelman, all of this is a very long way of saying I was going to ask for the matter to go over to next week. Monday, I guess, to be fair. The court, all right. Mr. Himmelman, to hopefully at that time confirm a date for a case management conference. The court, yes, okay. All right, Mr. Clifford, I'm remanding your case until Monday, and what's happening with it is a case management conference is going to be arranged at which you will be present, Mr. Boissoniault will be represented by counsel, and the federal and provincial crowns will be present, and it will take place in a courtroom in front of a judge, and hopefully that can be done sooner rather than later. We are awaiting hearing from Mr. Gladstone about his availability, so we are going to put it over till Monday, hoping to have heard from Mr. Gladstone by that date, and so that we can make the order for the case management conference, which is the next appropriate step in this case. The accused, I don't represent nor am I surety for the legal person. I really don't care what you people do. It's all damages. The court, all right, Mr. Clifford, your case is remanded till 9:30, December. Mr. Himmelman -2nd, I believe. The court -2 ND, 301. The accused, it's not my case, but good luck with that. The court, Thank you for your good wishes, Mr. Clifford. You can go now. Just knock on the door. The accused, oh, thank you for your leave. That was. The court, okay. Mr. Himmelman. List for today. The court, okay, good. The clerk, all rise. Day 4. Proceedings concluded. The Provincial Court of Manitoba. Between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 2nd day of December, 2013. Appearances, Miss R. Rankin, for the Crown. Mr. D. Clifford, in person. Miss Rankin, it's Rankin. The court, yes. Miss Rankin, appearing for the Federal Crown. The court, yes. Good morning, Miss Rankin. Miss Rankin, while we are waiting for Mr. Clifford, this is a bit of a different situation. I thought I could just give you sort of a heads up with respect to this matter. Mr. Clifford is a freeman on the land. He did not wish to apply for bail. This matter was on most days last week. What's happened with it? The judge that was sitting ordered a courtroom CMC for his matter as he indicated he did not wish to apply for bail. There's a co-accused who is out of custody and represented by Mr. Gladstone, so we have arranged a date that works for Mr. Gladstone, for the Provincial Crown and the Federal Crown, and we're prepared to set the case management date once Mr. Clifford arrives. The court, okay, so. Miss Rankin, but just so that you know that's where this matter is at. The court, well, and I'm going to ask you to put that on the record again. Miss Rankin, absolutely. The court, when Mr. Clifford. Miss Rankin, absolutely. The court arrives, but. So a case management was ordered. Miss Rankin, yes. The court, all right. Ms. Rankin, it was ordered that a case management take effect, so then we had to find a date, and now we've got one, so. The court, okay. And Mr. Clifford would have been aware. Ms. Rankin, he was. The court, that a case management. Ms. Rankin, here when that happened. The court, okay. Very good. Good morning, you're Dean Clifford. The accused, that's my given name, but I'm not making answer for the accused. The court, okay. Well, I'm going to accept that you are Dean Clifford, given that that's your given name and that's the name of the person on my list and that's the name on the information and that's the name on the docket. The accused, yeah. The court, so we're going to proceed as if you are Mr. Dean Clifford. The accused, as long as you understand that it's, I'm unwilling participating in this. The court, very well. Okay, Miss Rankin. Miss Rankin, Mr. Clifford, Your Honor, was arrested and appeared for the first time in bail court on November the 27th. He indicated he did not wish to be represented by legal counsel. The matter was adjourned to the 28th and again to the 29th. As I understand it, on that day Mr. Clifford indicated for the record that he did not wish to apply for his judicial interim release. The judge that was presiding indicated that a case management hearing should be held to facilitate the proper and speedy process of the charges that Mr. Clifford and his co-accused are facing. We did get dates from the pre-trial coordinators and Provincial Crown, Federal Crown and Mr. Gladstone, who represents Mr. Boissoniault, the co-accused, are all available January the 31st at 1 p.m. For that case management. Mr. Clifford obviously entitled to have his matter brought forward should he change his mind and apply for bail at any time between now and then. The court, okay. Miss Rankin, he would simply have to make arrangements to notify our office and we could do that. So. The court, okay. You understand all that, Mr. Clifford? The accused, yeah, I really don't care what she had to say, actually. It's meaningless to me. The court, okay. I'm going to order then that you, along with your co-accused, Mr. Boissoniault, have a case management January the 31st at 1 p.m. And where will that be? Miss Rankin, we'll need a courtroom. I think what happened was they had to wait until the court, okay. Miss Rankin, we had chosen one of the dates to give us a room. The court, okay. We are having a courtroom assigned. Did the judge seize him or herself with that? Miss Rankin, no. The court, okay. The clerk, January the 31st is not available. Miss Rankin, those dates were given to us on Thursday. The court, is this co? The clerk, I don't think so. February the 4th they have available. The court, well, the problem now is that counsel had arranged that date. Mr. Gladstone isn't here, so we can't change the date, we have to take that date. The clerk, is there a judge seized? Ms. Rankin, no. It was Judge Lerner that ordered it, but he didn't seize himself. The clerk, they have February the 4th available. Miss Rankin, I don't have any other counsel here. They all took the date that they had provided us, so. Unidentified person, inaudible. Ms. Rankin. And Miss Cornick from my office. The court, okay. Miss Rankin, so I had to get everybody to pick a date. The court, okay. In that case I think we have no choice but to put this over one day. Miss Rankin, put this to tomorrow and we will find a new date. The court, okay. Mr. Clifford, the date that was agreed to is not available, so we are going to bring you back here tomorrow, same time, about setting that date. Okay? You can knock on the door. The accused, forced compliance is acceptance of my terms and conditions. You people do whatever you want. The court, okay. You can knock on the door. Day 5. Proceeding concluded. The Provincial Court of Manitoba. Between Her Majesty the Queen and Dean Clifford, accused. Transcript of proceedings before Judicial Justice of the Peace Harvey, held at the Law Courts Complex, 408 York Avenue, in the city of Winnipeg, Province of Manitoba, on the 3rd day of December, 2013. Appearances: Miss R. Rankin, for the Crown. Mr. D. Clifford, in person. Miss Rankin, it's Rankin returning for the Federal Crown, Your Honor. I believe next on our list is Mr. Clifford. You will see that he is self-represented. I can indicate to you that Mr. Clifford is a freeman on the land. He has refused to apply for bail. Judge Lerner has ordered that a case management happen, and I have just now finally received dates that work for the Provincial Crown, Federal Crown, Mr. Gladstone, who is counsel for the co-accused, and will obviously work for Mr. Clifford because he's in custody. So he's just coming in to be told what that date is. The court, okay. Miss Rankin, I imagine he will tell me that he doesn't want to hear from me. The court, okay. What is the date? Miss Rankin, it's December the 19th at 1 p.m. in courtroom 407. We will ensure that Mr. Clifford is transported in for that. The court, yes. Other matters spoken to. The court, is this Mr. Clifford? Miss Rankin, this is Mr. Clifford. The court, okay. The matter has been put over till December the 19th at 1 o'clock in 407 in order that we can have a meeting to provide you with the information concerning the charges against you. This is called a case management meeting, and that will be the next appearance of yourself. Thank you. The accused, that's great. Does that mean somebody found a cause of action? The court, yeah, we have. So we will see you then. The accused, awesome. The court, good. Knock on the door. Thank you. Day 6. Proceedings concluded. Next appearance was on December the 19th th, 2013, and as of January the 7th th, 2014 he is still in custody.